What's up bikers, I'm Johnny Thompson from Fit for Racing, and today we're going to talk about planning your week around riding and training. We're going to take a look at 4 different types of riders: the 9-to-5 office worker, the guy that likes to ride as much as possible, the pro rider, and a guy that simply doesn't want to go to the gym but might want to get in once or twice a week to contribute to being a better rider. Before we delve into any of these types of rider, it's important to note that while scheduling work, you try and separate the heavy stuff as far away from the important rides as possible. So we like to program very heavy work at the start of the week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then tapering off down into the weekend. So we presume that most riders are going to prioritize weekend riding. I'm not going to go into the depths of what to do on each of these days because we've done previous videos, so check those out if you want to know how to plan a particular day. Or, of course, you can sign up to a program and allow me to do it for you, and then you know exactly what to do on each of those days. So let's get into the specifics of the needs of particular types of people. Rider A is an office worker, works 9 till 5 or thereabouts, and simply can't get out on their bike through the week. So they prioritize weekend riding, but they can only ride once a week at most, so it might be once a fortnight. If you fall into this category, then I seriously suggest that you get into the gym to make up some fitness so that you make the rides the best they can be when you get there. Starting with 3 times a week and all the way up to 5 times a week in the gym or doing some form of activity that will contribute to you becoming a better rider. If you're doing 3 days a week and you can only ride on a Sunday, then have a full rest day on the Monday and get in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's a good 3-day split through the week. And then as you get better at handling volume, or if you're already there, then you can do 5 whole days every single day in the gym whilst you're doing your working week. This would obviously be dependent on how hard you rode on the Sunday. You might choose to take the Monday off. So in that, as a person that can handle a lot of volume and is keen to get in the gym, you can try 5 or even 4 days per week doing whole body movements and then see how that contributes into your once a week ride. When I worked at 9 till 5, it was great because we got scheduled breaks. I could schedule my nutrition as well, and then I could visualize workouts whilst I was at work and spend purposeful time doing exactly what I needed to. So I was in and out, job done, on to the next day. Really looking forward to the rides and how much better I was by the weekend. And then what you'll find is in the summer, if you have time off, you go on a biking holiday, then because you train consecutive days, you're much more adapted to the volume day after day, and you can handle and be really proficient on your bike multiple days in a row. So that's going to be really good for those guys that have pockets of time on the bike and they really want to make the most out of it. This is the rider that probably rides most of the weekend, but also likes to ride through the week. Can see the benefit in strength and conditioning for riding and wants to integrate something into their schedule. It's important then that they understand very valuable training time versus time on the bike, and also not training too much. So training volume and keeping an eye on that is key. So what I suggest for this guy or girl is to separate each training day with a riding day. So let's say they were going to stick to the squatting type movements on a Monday and whole body workout. Tuesday might be an interval session on the bike. Obviously you're going to go out and you're going to enjoy some riding, but put some intervals in there as well. And then on the Wednesday, some upper body focus and strength and conditioning capacity work. Thursday might be a longer, low intensity ride. And then Friday, pulling off the ground, deadlift work, and then weekends doing longer, more fun social rides. If you're going to try that type of volume, then you might find that you're getting a bit sluggish. So it's important to really focus on general fatigue, know where you are and how you are coping with it. Because what we don't want is that you're going to be overtraining. I don't like to say overtraining because in my eyes it's under recovery. So you need to allow yourself recovery time. Obviously in our In our programs, we schedule in deload weeks, but they're still quite demanding. So it might be that you drop off a day here and there when you feel like that fatigue has got you in a deficit and you're not getting the best out of the gym or the rides. So for these guys, lots of riding, lots of gym, but just be very careful on the total volume that you're doing. Rider C is a similar type of rider, but they might be completely opposed to the gym, but they want the best out of their riding and they'll be on the bike at every opportunity. But they're considering that strength and conditioning in small pockets they might be able to fit in through the week would help them become a better rider. So for them, it's the purposeful, very timely workouts that you can squeeze in between. And what we suggest for them is 2 days a week. All you need is 2 single-hour sessions to cram in lots of stuff that's completely different to what they're doing on their bikes, but will contribute to becoming a better rider. What I mean by that is you could be out riding 5 days a week, steady state social rides. So when you get to hill sprints or even steep inclines, it's important to be able to have a little bit of power, a little bit of short energy system in you so that you can deal with that and get the most out of your ride. So in the times that you do train, fill in those deficits with strength training, power training, and short time domain training like intervals. And that way, in those small pockets, it'll make a massive difference to your overall riding when you're out all of the other times. Rider D is maybe a pro rider, somebody that can throw everything at getting better on the bike. Priority is speed and performance. So they've decided, well, actually, if I want that, there might be better ways to get it than just riding. And that is getting into the gym and doing some purposeful training. It might be a seasonal approach for you around the volume of riding versus gymming, or the majority of those rides are skill acquisition rides and not necessarily fitness. So building confidence, filling in gaps in deficit areas in skills so your ability on the bike improves, and then in the gym, spending that purposeful time increasing your fitness and agility in a controlled environment where your improvements can be way faster. And then when you combine these, it'll peak to the start of a season, and then you can drop off the volume of the gym, but still keep on top of the strength and conditioning that you gained in the off season. So it might be that you're in the gym 4 times a week, even 5, if you feel like fitness and strength and agility is the thing that's letting you down as a rider. But in the season, it might be down to 1 or 2 gym sessions to maintain it, but the balance is different for these seasonal riders. If you are competitive and it's not seasonal, then you have to fit in pockets of times between really important races to up the volume in the gym if you need to, or skill acquisition on the bike where you need to. The pros particularly need to pay attention on how much volume they can handle, because often at the end of a season, there'll be a massive break simply to get their heads back in the game, be keen for the next season, but then they want to make up for the time that they haven't been in the gym and haven't been on the bike. So don't go balls to the wall trying to make up some deficits. A slow integration of training again, so 2 or 3 times a week to start, up to 4 to 5. When you're really crushing it in the gym, but you've already established that the volume is good and you're recovering from that enough to get the skills rides in, and then you can start fiddling with when am I riding, how much am I training, when's my first important race, and then maintenance over your season to then take a break again and start the cycle. As with all of our programs, they're designed to be done in around about an hour. So that gives pockets of time, very purposeful time for riders, not just to be grinding in the gym. So a principle to consider is, what volume am I doing versus what is this giving me in fitness and ability on the bike? What we don't want you to do is go in and just train for training's sake. So what we do during the programs is allow you to choose how many days you do, from 2 to 5. So the first 2 being essential days, and these fill in the majority of deficits for people. And then day 3 is a general strength and conditioning, maybe with some strengthening work. And 4 and 5 conditioning, strength and conditioning, or active recovery, depending on how much bike time you have. So even if you fall into the pro or the office worker category, our programs will be for you because you can choose depending on how you're coping with volume and what your needs and available gym time are, so you can get the best out of it and be the best rider on the other end. I guess what I'm saying is find a balance between riding and the gym so that riding is priority and you're not just going to the gym to grind it out for the sake of it. Purposeful time in the gym, improving your riding, because riding has to be the priority. And that's that. So until next time, it's your time, make it count. Peace.